Jesus spoke, entreating them to live together in a great circle of love. When his followers asked him then who should be included, Jesus said, let everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle. Oligarchs, tyrants try to keep some in, everyone else outside. The revolution sweeps across the land, and the people all stand. The common folk cry, let everybody in, everybody to the circle, circle. Circle is a class or creed. Sometimes a circle is made of old men. Until Susan B. Anthony says, what about me? Let me in, let everybody to the circle, circle. Circle is a privileged thing, excluding people for the color of their skin. Till the voice of Martin Luther King says, let freedom ring, everybody to the circle, circle. Gay and straight, rich and poor, old and broken, open up that door. The more we are, the greater we become. After all, we all are one. Bringing the people, but don't stop there. Bringing the fish in the sea, birds in the air. Bringing the rivers wide, mountains tall. Go together, but not at all. Let everybody in to the circle, circle. Everybody in to the circle, circle.
Sorry, at Unity we always clap, but okay. It's like, yay! Welcome to this morning's chapel. We'll be led today by Unitarian Universalist students, some just completing their first year, others about to graduate in a few days. Before I go any further, online you should have an order of service in the chat. If you want to click on it, you can follow along. Anyway, joining us will be Babs Allen, Jade Joyce, and Audrey McCann, and me, Becky Gonzalez. Babs is a second year youth studies MDiv student living in central Illinois with her spouse and 2 kitties. Jade is a first year seminarian with intentions to be ordained in Unitarian Universalism. She lives in Rochester, Minnesota, with her wife Emily and their 3 rambunctious fur babies. If you've had classes with Jade, you've met them all. They like to take part. Audrey is a second year UU Studies MDiv student who recently relocated to the Twin Cities from her home state of Texas. And I'm graduating this Sunday after 4 years and plan to pursue prison chaplaincy. I'm a mother of 3 grown children, all with various religious backgrounds. and one newly born grandson. He's about 6 weeks old. I live here in the Twin Cities with my husband, Mike, and my 3 adult dogs. My kids say, that's a little bit of Freudian slip. You've got dogs are dogs. They're adults. They're good. So, before we go any further, Unitarian Universalists are non-creedal faith guided by, right now, 7 principles. As we celebrate Earth Day today, we will focus on the 7th principle, respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. Babs, want to call us to worship?
Absolutely. These words are by Starhawk. The earth is a living conscious being, in company of cultures of many different times and places. We name these things as sacred: air, water, fire, and earth. Whether we see them as the breath, energy, blood, and body of the mother, or as the blessed gifts of the creator, or as symbols of the interconnected systems that sustain life, we know that nothing can live without them. To call these things sacred is to say that they have a value beyond their usefulness for human ends, that they themselves become the standards by which our acts, our economics, our laws, and our purposes must be judged. To honor the sacred is to create conditions in which nourishment, sustenance, habitat, and knowledge, freedom, and beauty can thrive. To honor the sacred is to make love possible. Come, let us worship together.
So in our tradition, we ground ourselves, become present to our spiritual practice by lighting the chalice, symbol of our faith. And this is a chalice lighting ritual by Maureen Killoran called Let Us Look First to the Response of Love. In these hard times, let us look first to the response of love. In the midst of challenge, may our chalice flame bear witness to the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. In the midst of uncertainty, may our chalice be a beacon of encouragement, that our values may guide our choices. Let us look first to the response of love. Here we go. Okay, this is lit, and I'll put it behind me. And now we will sing together. Love will guide us. And the words will show up on the screen so you can participate however you want. There you go. That's better for your neck. Ready?
Love will guide us, peace that surrounds, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from creed to king. Love will guide us through the hot night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love
check your order of service, you'll notice this responsive reading. This is called This House by Kenneth L. Patton. I'll read the first line, and then you all are the italicized version. This house is for the ingathering of nature and human nature. It is a house of friendship, a haven in trouble, an open room for the encouragement of our struggle. It is a house of freedom, guarding the dignity and worth of every person. It offers a
platform for the free
voice for declaring of times of tyranny and danger,
the full
and undivided conflict of opinion. It is a house of truth-seeking, where scientists can encourage devotion to their quest, where mystics can abide in a community of searchers. It's a house of art, adorning its celebration with melodies and handiworks. It is a house of prophecy, outrunning times past and times present in visions of growth and progress. This house is the cradle of our dreams, the workshop of our common endeavor. Jay, could you give your reflection, please?
Yes, thank you. Hello, friends, and happy Earth Day to all of us and Mother Earth. In looking at a reflection for today, something stood out for me from Robin Wall Kimmerer from her book, Braiding Sweetgrass. And this is a book that sits on my theology shelf right next to many other good books. So she says, at the height of summer, when the days are long and bright and the thunderers come to soak the ground, the lessons of reciprocity are written clearly in the Three Sisters' garden. Together, their stems inscribe what looks to me like a blueprint for the world, a map of balance and harmony. The corn stands 8 feet tall. Rippling green ribbons of leaf curl away from the stem in every direction to catch the sun. No leaf sits directly over the next, so that each can gather light without shading the others. The bean twines around the cornstalk, weaving itself between the leaves of corn, never interfering with their work. In the spaces where corn leaves are not, buds appear on the vining bean and expand in outstretched leaves and clusters of fragrant flowers. The bean leaves droop and are held close to the stem of the corn. Spread around the feet of the corn and beans is a carpet of big, broad squash leaves that intercept the light that falls among the pillars of corn. Their layered spacing uses the light, a gift from the sun, efficiently with no waste. The organic symmetry of forms belongs together. The placement of every leaf, the harmony of shapes speak their message. Respect one another. Support one another. Bring your gift to the world and receive the gift of others, and there will be enough for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my reflection is a tale of two gardens. That one and the one I'll be telling you about. Yesterday, Unity Church Unitarian in St. Paul finally called a new minister, Reverend Oscar Sinclair from Lincoln, Nebraska. Yes. I took part in a couple of the many opportunities to be in conversation with him during candidating week, which allowed us all to get to know each other better before we voted to accept his proposal, and we each said, I do. That's what it is, isn't it? It's a public marriage between a congregation and a minister, a covenant we make between us. This was a big deal. We voted no 2 years ago, after hours of painful discussion. This time, we got it right. No discussion, and it was a Unitarian church, but there was no discussion. Just a unanimous yes and one stubborn abstention. We can heave a sigh, that part was Unitarian. We can heave a sigh of relief and look with excitement to a new era filled with possibilities that build upon 152 years of rich and sometimes complicated history. I tell the story because it reminds me of what many of us will experience once we leave United. First, going to the Ministerial Fellowship Committee if you're aspiring to be ordained UU, and then with whatever congregation calls us to work with them. Reverend Oscar modeled a wonderful example of how to go deep quickly. His mixture of honest storytelling about theology, faith formation, spiritual practice, and social justice, mixed with vulnerability and humor, drew me right in. He even made governance sound interesting. I felt both inspired and at home with him. He reminded me why I entered seminary 4 years ago. He reminded me of the joy in the struggle for social transformation and the importance, now more than ever, of the liberal, capital L, church. Our churches are not think tanks. We don't make policy. We do set moral standards and call on those who develop policy to uphold them. We use whatever bodies we are born into to show up for our neighbors who are othered by society. So how do we reach the point of confident discernment, self-awareness, and spiritual commitment to make good trouble, as a late Congressman John Lewis called on us all to do? We do the work in this amazing progressive seminary, and we do it together. To better illustrate this point, I'm going to offer up yet another reading, one that Reverend Oscar included in our service yesterday. I just couldn't pass it up. It speaks perfectly to what our UTS community and our covenant with one another is all about. It's about another garden. The reading is called Back Scratcher by UU Reverend David Bumbau. The fall from grace, the great disruption of primordial order, the original sin had nothing to do with eating apples and talking with snakes. The instrument of our fall was a wooden back scratcher. That piece of wood bent at the end so one piece can reach the unreachable spot. There between the shoulder blades, just down a bit lower, now up a little bit, there where the most persistent itch always takes residence. Before the back scratcher, before that simple infernal device, we, like our primate kin, depended on others to do for us what we could not do for ourselves. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Before the back scratcher, before that simple infernal tool, we needed each other to scratch that unreachable itch. The wooden back scratcher dissolved the bonds of reciprocity, unloosed the ties of community, and tempted us to believe in our own godlike self-sufficiency. And God walked in the cool of the garden and saw a primate standing alone. "What have you done," God asked, "that you stand alone?" "I have found a back scratcher," said the beast, "and now I need no one." "Poor beast," said God. "Now you must leave this garden. In Eden, no one stands alone. Each depends on the others." And thus began our wandering, our pacing up and down the earth, scratching our own itches, pretending self-sufficiency, trying to ignore the persistent sense of loss, the vague yearning for a primordial order, a world where you scratch my back and I scratch yours. A wooden back scratcher is poor compensation for the gentle touch of a loving hand. This call to community, the interdependence among us, the need for gentle touch or back scratch, even through Zoom, is how we thrive in seminary, each supporting one another, challenging each other, growing together as we strengthen our own faith by learning about that of others. Some of us are cornstalks, others are bean vines, and still others are squash leaves, each helping the other to grow. I don't know about you, but for me, seminary has been a joy-filled block park in a world laden with so much daunting work to do. Where else can we go and dive into passion-filled discussion, people whose eyes light up rather than glaze over when we explore the finer points of sacred texts from around the world? Maybe throw in some art and music to add depth and breadth. I hope we can stay connected to one another, to provide ongoing sustenance that I know we will need. I check social media daily, I'm one of those people, to see what's new with family members and seminary colleagues. While I post very little, I respond frequently. 2 recent posts confirm my belief that we do indeed need each other. There was a screenshot celebrating a UCC prayer group that meets weekly to encourage one another on their journeys toward ordination. Another post included a screenshot of a tearful farewell to the end of History of Modern Theology's class time together. I see words lifting one another up when tragedy strikes, or rejoicing in successes. I completed 2 capstone projects this year. That's what happens when you decide you must pursue both a UU Studies and a social transformation track. There's just no getting around it. I tried. We spent a lot of time workshopping our plans with one another, and more often than not, we had ideas that would further each other's work beyond what we individually had imagined. We each had contacts to open doors for one another, and we put each other in touch with other seminary students or colleagues who we thought would share an interest in that particular project. In the MDiv capstone, Reverend T. Michael Rock had us collaborate with a faith mentor, a leader within our denomination, and a current UTS student, each one having some stake in our vocational plan once we leave these walls, ensuring the interconnectedness among us as students and as professionals. Stalks, vines, and leaves, all helping one another to grow. I'll close by returning to the Robin Wall Kimmerer's three-sister story. She sums up our relationship with and commitment to one another and to our chosen vocation perfectly. The organic symmetry of forms belongs together. The placement of every leaf, the harmony of shapes that speak their message. Respect one another, support one another, bring your gift to the world and receive the gifts of others, and there will be enough for all. May it be so, and amen. Now, life calls us on. Again, the words will be on the screen. Go ahead. Well, you can, sure. I take claps. Thanks. Audrey, you want to give us our closing blessing?
Yes, the words I will be reading today are by Eric Williams, called "The World is Too Beautiful." The world is too beautiful to be praised by only one voice. May you have the courage to sing your part. The world is too broken to be healed by only one set of hands. May you have the courage to use your gifts. May you go in peace.
Thank you. Now we'll extinguish the chalice, and the words again are in your program. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, and fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now, because this is Earth Day, and I don't think any Unitarian church gets by Earth Day without singing Blue Boat Home, we will now sing Blue Boat Home on our way out. And the words are in your order of service. But you probably know them by heart, but if you don't, there's a little guide for you.
Below me, I feel no motion. Standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my drive and heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port heaven. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my sun, my sailor, moon, my lover, as I am the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we can endure slow, making our way by the light of the heavens in our beautiful blue home. I give thanks to the waves of the holy faith, hail the great winds urging me on. Reap the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the sands, never harbor or port heaven. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is
Well, thank you all. That's it. Happy Earth Day.
Thank you. Thank you all. Lovely to see y'all.
You too.